And welcome to my channel. I'm Avonlea. I am the creator of the Thea Tree, a little small business that specializes in baby clothes, as well as I love to do resin and art on the side. So you see some of all of that in my channel. What you'll see next is kind of a smorgasbord of surface pattern design behind the scenes. So I'm going to be playing around in Photoshop a little bit with some motifs and raster images and changing the layer adjustments. And if you have no idea what that is, stay tuned. It's really fun to play around with stuff because I'm learning as well. And so I'm playing around with all different kinds of things in Photoshop. I have no idea what it does, and then it changes the whole image drastically. So I'll be showing a little bit of that, as well as making my portfolio to pitch to companies, as well as actually pitching for a company. And it's my dream company, which I don't think I'll actually get to be a designer for them. But however, it is fun to do it and dream a little bit and see what happens. I had this seaweed pattern right here all laid out, and I had it in my portfolio, and it didn't look right. So it looked like this, and it was just very standard and straight. And I was like, you know what? I bet this can be more dynamic. And so I made it look like this. I had to change it all around. So I had to go into here and I warped a lot of the seaweed, and so I made them longer and like different shapes, and I also added some weird like pink colors in there to add some different a different look, and so make it more mottled instead of just the standard green. And so there you can see it there. It looks a lot more dynamic, and this is pretty standard. The fish is a hero, and it's just like straight, and so I wanted something that kind of just was more wavy, especially seaweed is just very wavy and organic looking. You can see in these little squares down here, these are my blenders. So you have heroes, which are your big prints, then coordinates, which are your middle, and then blenders are your like little ones that added everything together. And so one is a little bit too light, or it's not the right color. I might leave it, we'll see. But this one definitely is too dark at the bottom, so I'm going to change that around. It's called Sand Galaxy, and you will see the finished work soon. Alright, so if I come over here to Photoshop, I got my new Sand Galaxy look, and I like how it merges a lot better. I'm still not totally 100% sure with the background of this blue. It doesn't really match this blue or this blue. But also you can have a lot of different blues, so we'll see. But I want to put a blue motif here besides the title. This is the wrong title. This is from Ochre Tones, a different one that I had, so I'm just going to take that off so that you can't see it. Yeah, and then I'm going to put a new motif here, which I have this large sea anemone, and I'm going to put it in here, hopefully. Okay, and it's huge, so we're going to scale it down like a lot. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to move it up here, and then we'll put a new title. So I finished my first colorway, and now I'm working on my second colorway, which you see I've just got these two little blenders here, and I just want to show what this, how this from the first colorway got to this. This is the same photo of my work, but I was able to severely change it based on the layer adjustments panel. So I want to show kind of like the process. Like you should know, like layer up here and then new adjustment layer, and then you can do all kinds of things. And I did selective color. I also layered the same image over itself to give it a little more variety, and then changed one of the layers, like I moved it. So let's see, we're working on it. Tried a new hue. We're modifying the hue. I was trying to make it more like that orange color. And then we got a blending change here, which I loved. This was a linear burn. You can see right here, a linear burn. And I was like, I love this, but I thought it was too much like this. It's the same colors, right? It's that orange and blue. And I'm like, you want a variety in your pattern. You don't want to have like the same. So I love this so much, but I was like, we need to do something different. So I changed some stuff around, made diagonal, same color though. I was like, what if these are all diagonal? What if we do it this way too? So I'm going to need to copy exactly this and turn it around so that it's going like crisscross. So I did that and I got like a bunch of cool things because I was working on darker color then. So working on, it almost looks like butterflies, which I was like, that's cool, but it's also not sea related. So then I hit this, modify selected color layer, blending change. Anyway, like, so fun. And just change it up. And this is like screen. So I basically went through all these and did different things. Look at all that. It's crazy. All the changes you can make. I really like this one. This one's really pretty too. But I decided to make it this. Alright, I'm so excited to show you my patterns on the portfolio because I worked really hard on this and I've spent 2 years compiling all these patterns, and I took a year break to do sewing and grow my baby and be with my baby. But then I went back to Photoshop, and so I don't have as many patterns as I'd like because I've only spent, a couple months compiling these. But I'm going to continue adding to my portfolio and growing it out so that way the people I pitch to can actually have a lot of choices and see what I'm capable of. So, in the beginning, it's just good to practice with a lot of motifs and a lot of ideas. And so originally I came up with single patterns. So these are just patterns on their own and they're not really part of a collection. So later I was able to put some of them into a collection. All my mice and mushrooms and stars, they all kind of went into a woodland fantasy collection. But that was after I was playing around with motifs. And then I started actually working on collections, which I don't have any expertise in actually licensing my designs, but I do have expertise in my art. And so I wanted to showcase that of what I can actually draw and work on. Hello everyone. I'm so excited to be here because this is the first day of my pitching my portfolio. So I did all the work of all the patterns and all the collections and putting it together in my portfolio and trying to make it as beautiful and concise and make sense as possible. And now comes the pitching, which a lot of people are nervous about. And I'm a little nervous, but I'm like, if nothing happens, nothing happens. A lot of people don't get in right away, and I'm not expecting to get in. So I'm just trying because I know that I have everything I need, and I am going with professional emails and professional portfolio and seeing what happens. And I'm just really praying that whatever God wants to happen will happen. And so I'm going to actually show you this first site that I'm pitching to. It is a little bit different than I would normally pitch for. So I'm going to show you that here. So Little Calico is the site that I'm pitching for first because I love their fabrics and I've tested their fabrics. Their fabrics are my mock-ups. I've sewed them with my patterns and designs, and they're Christian, and they want organic fabrics and sustainability and good ethics behind their work. So I really appreciate their heart. And usually you pitch by email or you can do phone, but they have a little thing down here to our artists, I think. I found them some other way where I was able to just put in my information and that it goes into their artist base of when they want new artists, they will reach out to you. So it was a little bit different. I did not email them. It was on their site. But I just know that you're supposed to look into what other artists are doing on their site to see if you would be a good match with them. So I just browsed what artists they picked, like what their artists are coming up with. They're coming up with a lot of neutrals I'm seeing and a lot of vector art, like pretty flat. And my watercolor motifs are not flat. So I don't know if I'd be a good fit for them. So that's one thing I need to get better at is seeing like, am I wasting my time pitching to this company? Like, would they not be interested in my work? Whereas, I mean, pumpkins, and these are definitely watercolored, these are not flat. So they definitely have picked some artists who do rasterized images, it looked like, with Photoshop, but a lot of vector, seeing a lot of flat. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're pitching, I've learned. And we will see if I hear back from them or not. It would be amazing. I chose this as my first site because I love Little Coat Calico, and I think it would be a really cool story to say that my first pitch was accepted and it was my dream company. That would be like the best of the best, but obviously that probably won't happen. So we'll see. And tomorrow I will pitch to a different company and so on. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope it inspired you to play around with surface pattern design or make your portfolio if you haven't done so already, or start pitching every single day as a habit just to see what happens. Bye.